I'm honestly sad as someone who's always loved Apple products, because it feels like this might be the start of their downfall. Apple just released the iPhone 17 lineup, and while the products keep getting better, they're not getting different. For a company once known as the symbol of innovation, that's a big problem. Apple used to define culture. Under Steve Jobs, they gave us the Mac, the iPhone, the MacBook Air, things that changed how the world thought about technology. But today, the prices keep going up, innovation keeps shrinking, and even their so-called Apple intelligence doesn't live up to the hype. So what happened? To understand, we have to go back to the moment that Steve Jobs passed away and Tim Cook took over. That's when Apple stopped selling dreams and started selling margins. Tim Cook is a supply chain genius. He made Apple's operations the most efficient in the world, but he's not a product visionary. Under his leadership, Apple's stock skyrocketed from $350 billion in 2011 to $3 trillion in 2023. But that success wasn't driven by innovation. It was driven by financial strategy, massive stock buybacks that boosted share prices instead of investing in new ideas. Apple spent $110 billion buying its own stock, but only $30 billion on R&D, way less than Amazon, Google, or Meta. And that shows. Every new iPhone is predictable. A better camera, a better chip, a slightly longer battery life. It feels like Apple isn't a tech company anymore. It's an investment company that happens to sell phones. Even Tim Cook said it himself. Apple's focus is on long-term value for shareholders, not customers. What used to be think different has turned into think dividend. And it's working for investors. But for users, something's missing. The excitement is gone. Apple events used to feel like festivals. Now they're just routines. The biggest question isn't, what new innovation are we getting? But how much will this one cost? We've normalized $2,000 phones, not because of features, but because of status. Owning an iPhone today is more like owning a Rolex than a piece of tech. Apple knows exactly how to keep people hooked through ecosystem lock-in. iMessage, AirDrop, FaceTime, iCloud. They make leaving Apple almost impossible. They've shifted from an innovation company to an ecosystem trap. Great for business, terrible for creativity. And when it comes to AI, Apple's fallen way behind. Remember Siri? In 2011, it was revolutionary, the world's first smart voice assistant. Now it's basically irrelevant. While Google, Microsoft, and NVIDIA dominate the AI race, Apple is still catching up. They even had to rent Google Cloud servers to train their models. When ChatGPT exploded, Apple had no answer. Only in 2024 did they announce Apple Intelligence, which turned out to be mostly marketing, even leading to lawsuits for false advertising. Their real AI tech won't be ready until 2027. So yes, Apple is still a trillion-dollar company, but it's lost the spark that made it magical. As a fan, I want to believe they'll find that spark again. But if they don't close the innovation gap in the next few years, Apple might lose more than just market share. It might lose its identity, because in tech, the ones who survive aren't the biggest. They're the ones who adapt. Apple once led the world by thinking different. Now the question is, can they do it again?